What's going on, everybody? This your boy King Gabe here, and we are finally about to read the last few chapters of Yumeko Novel One, Brownny To The Rescue. Oh yeah, finally about to complete this. So let's get ready to dive right on into this. First off, as you always know, like, share, and subscribe. Definitely special thanks to any of these videos. Buy some of our available books, including Yumeko here itself, as well as also our other books like Star Striker, Bubblina, and all that. And also, make sure to support us on that Patreon, just like your boy AJ the Supreme. Be sure to check out his channel along with Casey's channel as well. And definitely shout outs to Miss Phyllis Modena, Keon Smith with the buffalo wings and chicken tenders, and King turkey legs and wings, also ribs too. Good barbecue over there. And also be sure to hit us up on that Discord app so you can chat and just hang out and everything. And also the Mercari app. If you got something to sell, you can definitely sell it there, as well as also check out some of the stuff I got for sale. And with all that said, let's get on into this. Yumeko Novel One, Brownny To The Rescue, Chapter 8. Over on a pole outside the head manager's office, Samuel woke up and found himself tied up to it. The witch came out of the office and slowly approached him. "I'm gonna take a wild guess and say you must be one of the villains in this world," said Samuel. "Is that so?" said the witch sarcastically. "And how do you know that, genius?" "If you weren't a villain, you wouldn't have me tied up like this," said Samuel. "And how are you sure your so-called friends aren't behind this?" asked the witch again. "They wouldn't do something like this to me, especially Hiko," replied Samuel. "We've been friends since kindergarten." "Really?" said the witch. "Well, what about the other girls you met the day before me? How do you know they're not villains?" "I just do! Now stop trying to play head games with me. Who are you and what do you want?" "Well, Mr. Right and Justice, I'll tell you my name when I come back." The witch vanished and Samuel yelled, "Hey! Get back here, you villainous fiend!" said Samuel. "You hear me? Get back here right now!" The witch appeared in front of a display of 24-count bottled water packs near the exit doors. When she saw the Ultra Cat figure still holding Hiko and Naomi flying toward her from a distance, she said, "Water release and form a tidal wave to attack the heroes like a bear from a cave." The water exploded from the bottles and became a tidal wave that struck the Ultra Cat figure. This caused him to malfunction and dropped Hiko and Naomi. Hiko quickly held Naomi close. Then he noticed some packaged bean bags on a shelf nearby and said, "Expanding cushions!" The bean bags burst out of their packaging and immediately expanded to catch Hiko and Naomi. This allowed them to safely land to the floor. Hiko stood up and helped Naomi stand. "Are you okay?" he asked. "Yes, I am," Naomi replied. "Thank you again." Then she kissed his cheek. Hiko blushed again, saying, "You're very welcome." "Oh, isn't that cute?" said the witch sarcastically. On that note, the Ultra Cat figure crashed on the floor and broke. "Ultra Cat!" shouted Hiko and Naomi together. "Calm down, losers," said the witch, rolling her eyes. She blasted the figure to dust. Then she blasted the bean bags, causing the expanded polyester beans inside to become a dusty mist in the air. The dust temporarily blinded Hiko and Naomi. Once they cleared their eyes to see, they noticed the witch had teleported all of them outside the store, including Samuel, who was no longer tied up. "Samuel, are you okay?" asked Hiko. "Yeah, I will be," replied Samuel angrily. Then he pointed at the witch and said, "No thanks to this manipulative psychoanalyst she-devil!" "That's quite a vocabulary," said the witch in a mocking tone. "I should get a dictionary to understand what you just said." Then she put on some reading glasses and made a dictionary appear in her hands. She looked up manipulative and mimicked Samuel's voice as she read out loud. "Manipulative, as an adjective, it means characterized by unscrupulous control of a situation or a person. In a sentence, you would say she was sly, selfish, and manipulative. As a verb, it says..." "Okay, enough messing around," interrupted Hiko. "Who are you and what do you want with me and my friends?" The witch made the glasses and dictionary vanish and replied, "Well, excuse me for having an educational moment. My name is Shanice Harper, and I'm only carrying out the orders of my boss. I can't tell you his master plans now, but one day you will find out. However, depending on what you choose after finding out his plans, will determine whether you survive or not." "Why don't you tell us right now?" demanded Hiko. "Like I said, one day you will find out," said Shanice. "It's my boss's decision. And if I were you, I'd be more focused on your survival right here first." Shanice snapped her fingers, making a giant zombie slowly emerge from the ground. She laughed, saying, "Good luck with this." After that, she vanished. Chapter 9. The giant zombie wasn't as big as the hat monster that Brownie and Gerald faced earlier, but it was 10 feet taller than the golden buffalo in Big Papa's dream and just as threatening. The zombie had 4 arms, and like the zombies from earlier, he had teeth in his eye sockets. Just as he was almost out of the ground, Samuel got an idea. He quickly took some rocks and, like a baseball, threw them at the zombie's forehead. The zombie howled in pain as he stood up. "Samuel, I don't think that was a good idea," said Hiko. "Don't worry, he'll fall down, and we'll be able to finish him off like David did Goliath," said Samuel. However, the zombie didn't fall down. Instead, he picked up the rocks and threw them at everybody, and they quickly jumped out of the way. "That didn't work like I thought it would," said Samuel. "That's because Goliath wasn't a zombie with teeth in his eyes," said Hiko. The kids dodged the zombie again as he swung his arms to grab them. But he swung again and managed to grab them. He held them tight and laughed creepily as they screamed. Just when it seemed like the end, the zombie's legs were bitten by Paper Eater and Space Bite, causing him to throw the kids up in the air. Then the kids quickly started falling toward the ground, but their fall was slowed down. They noticed it was Mr. Fluffles levitating them, so they could land safely on the ground using his psychic powers. "Quickly, children, we must get to safety," said Mr. Fluffles. "Okay," said the kids. They all cleared a distance from the parking lot as the zombie slowly rose back up. Brownie and Gerald steered Paper Eater and Space Bite in position to battle. The zombie swung his hands again to grab the planes, but missed. "Time to shock it to you," said Browny. He had Paper Eater fire an electric blast, stunning the zombie, but he absorbed it and fired the blast from his mouth back at Paper Eater. "Hang on, Browny," said Gerald. He had Spacebite quickly deflect the blast with a heavy stream of water. Both the water and electricity went into the mouth. "Now with all that water, it's time to chill." Then Gerald had Spacebite freeze the zombie in a huge block of ice. "Now it's time for the burning finish," exclaimed Browny. He had Paper Eater fire a stream of fire engulfing the zombie. "Good idea," said Gerald. "Just like the hat, he'll disintegrate into ashes." Unfortunately, the zombie broke out of the ice and absorbed the fire. Then he fired all of it as boiling hot water mixed with a hailstorm of tennis ball-sized chunks of dry ice at Paper Eater and Spacebite, knocking them out of the sky and crashing to the ground. "I thought that would work," said Gerald. "It doesn't look like it did," said Browny. The zombie slowly but angrily approached them. Hiko quickly looked at the ice on the ground and at the zombie's eye sockets. Then he got an idea. "Mr. started Hiko. "Mr. Fluffles, young one," said Mr. Fluffles. "Okay, Mr. Fluffles," started Hiko again. "Is there a way to throw those chunks of ice into the zombie's eye sockets?" "Yes, there is," said Mr. Fluffles. On that note, Mr. Fluffles used his psychic powers to levitate the chunks of ice to go inside the zombie's eye sockets. The zombie howled in pain as Mr. Fluffles said to Browny and Gerald in their minds, "Now guys, try aiming your attacks together at the eye sockets." "Gotcha," said Browny and Gerald together. There was some small struggling for the planes to get up due to the earlier damages, but Browny and Gerald were able to get them into the air. Then they fired a barrage of missiles into the zombie's eye sockets. Eventually, the zombie exploded into pieces, and Browny quickly had Paper Eater burn all the pieces to dust. After that, they landed the planes near Mr. Fluffles and the kids and exited the cockpits. Browny said, "Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. There's nothing more left because he burst to rust. Great thinking, Sensei. Thank you." "Yes, thank you indeed," said Gerald. "No problem," said Mr. Fluffles. "But it was your friend Hikoji that placed the ideal in my head. A wise observation came from a young mind today." "Well, thank you as well, Hikoji," said Gerald. "You're welcome," said Hiko. "You can just call me Hiko." "Well, we're really proud of you, Hiko," said Browny. "And to all of you, welcome to Yumeko." "This is an awesome first adventure," said Samuel. "You can say that again," said Hiko. "And the next adventure might be your last," bellowed a voice. Chapter 10. The sky was filled with storm clouds as the thunder rumbled and lightning flashed. Everyone looked around to see where the voice came from until a bolt of lightning struck a nearby gas truck. Everyone jumped clear of the explosion in time. Then as the smoke cleared, two shadows slowly approached them. Eventually, it was revealed to be Shanice and the rabbit from earlier. "Frederick Fluffleson Campbell," said the rabbit, "plus your top student, Barnhart hero, and best firefighter, Browny B. Brown." "Who are you, and how do you know us?" asked Mr. Fluffles. The rabbit smirked as he answered, "I am Ramon Raban, Then he placed his hand on Shanice's shoulder and said, "And I'm sure you all have already met one of my students." Brownny growled as he said, "How could I possibly forget that little witch?" "Aww, are you angry that I tried to make your show more interesting?" said Shanice in a sarcastic tone. "My programming would have made you popular." "Your program severely hurt my live audience," said Brownny, "especially bringing that movie Holovision to life." "Sometimes you have to suffer to raise your ratings, my pet," said Shanice. "I am not your pet!" shouted Brownny. Then he faced Ramon and said, "Now back to you. How do you know us and what do you want?" "Patience, Brownny," said Ramon. "I'm sure your sensei taught you something about that. However, I will inform you that the grandparents of your friend Hiko are here." "Where are my grandparents?" demanded Hiko. "You'll have to find them," said Ramon, holding up his staff. As it glowed, the thunder rumbled louder and the lightning flashed more ferociously. Eventually, a vortex opened, sucking up Mr. Fluffles, Brownny, Gerald, Hiko, Naomi, and Samuel into it. Ramon and Shanice laughed evilly, and he said, "Now." And now the game begins. To be continued, if you readers dare. That's quite an ending for this book. Alright. Hope y'all don't mind my little ad-lib up there, but well, there's the final 3 chapters. We finally finished book number 1 here in our audio readings, and once book number 2 comes out and gets settled in, we'll be picking up with some more audio readings of book number 2. So until then, like I say, like, share, subscribe. Definitely be sure to give us some special thanks. Buy some of our available books, which include Yumeko, as well as Star Striker, Bubbleina, and all that. And support us on that Patreon, just like your boy AJ the Supreme. And don't forget to check out his channel along with Casey's channel. And also, shout outs to Medea, Miss Phyllis, Keon Smith's Chicken Tenders and Buffalo Wings, and King's Turkey Legs and Bop Turkey Legs and Wings, as well as his baby ribs. Oh, as well Keon Smith with his chicken tenders and I did say it right. My bad. So yeah, all that, and don't forget to hit us up on that Discord app just to hang out and chat, and also the Marcari app so we can sell each other some things. And how ironic that I don't know if you guys can hear it, but how ironic it's raining and kind of thundering a little bit out there. Ironic that the last chapter of the book mentioned about thunder and lightning. Go figure. Well, that's it for this video, and take care, everybody. We'll see y'all in the next video. Peace!